Day 2 of the Republican National Convention is underway in Milwaukee with the theme Make America Safe Once Again. Trump's campaign claims Biden administration policies have allowed crime and immigration to create dystopian nightmares across America, something the GOP presidential nominee says he plans to fix. Last night, Donald Trump made his first public appearance since Saturday's assassination attempt. He also revealed his pick for Vice President, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. The critic turned ally once called the former president cultural heroin. Vance spoke with Fox News about what changed his mind.
I don't hide from that. I was certainly skeptical of Donald Trump in 2016, but President Trump was a great president, and he changed my mind. I think he changed the minds of a lot of Americans because, again, he delivered that peace and prosperity.
CBS News political director Fin Gómez is in Milwaukee covering the convention for us. Fin, we saw the former president and official Republican nominee last night, the first time since that attempt on his life Saturday. How would you describe that moment?
Well, I was in the room right off the floor when that moment happened, when he walked in with his bandage. You first saw his image pop up on this large screen above the arena with the whole crowd looking up, the delegates looking up. And, there was, of course, these are delegates who are fervent supporters of the former president and now nominee, 2024 Republican presidential nominee. And that moment was, in essence, electric. It was, you could feel it. There were big supporters. There was a big uplift of cheers and applause and people waving signs and dancing. And I think, for them, especially for his supporters, you did see a sense of unity. And that's what they're really going for, because they saw him. The last time they saw him, of course, was when he was being rushed off that stage in that very tense and terrible moment in Butler, Pennsylvania. And then last night you saw this comeback, healthy version of what occurred, now coming into the stage and representing the current Republican Party.
You mentioned unity. What can you tell us about today's events? We're going to hear from Trump rival Nikki Haley tonight.
You recall, it was a bitter primary. Nikki Haley was the last candidate standing against Donald Trump. And got the most delegates against Donald Trump. She did release them earlier this week. But Nikki Haley, his former UN ambassador, and also the former governor of South Carolina, again, very bitter fight, very bitter primary. But now her being here, it's a show of unity, and that's what the convention organizers have told us. That's what people close to Nikki Haley have told us. And even though the focus is on some of the austere policies they have on immigration and the border, as well as, their focus on crime, this showing, her being here, his most bitter rival during the primary, is encapsulated in that theme of unity.
Let's talk about those policies you just mentioned. J.D. Vance did his first major TV interview since being picked for VP on Fox News yesterday. What are we hearing from him and other leaders within the party about what their economic and social platforms are?
Well, the thing about J.D. Vance, I think it's when I asked Governor Mike DeWine of Ohio, I interviewed him yesterday, just after the pick was announced, and of course, the governor of Ohio said, in essence, that his joining the campaign as Donald Trump's running mate, and it will help them with voters in the battleground states, in the blue wall states, where you have blue-collar voters, like Pennsylvania especially, Michigan, and of course here in the Badger State in Wisconsin, where you will have his bio, his background being from the Appalachian Trail, and his sort of pro-protectionist focus as well that he shares with Donald Trump. That will help in appealing to union workers, that would help in appealing to those blue-collar workers who are struggling. And so I think that's the effort that we will see. That's what we will be seeing in the coming days after the convention when they do hit the trail.
Fin Gómez, thank you. CBS News 24/7 will have comprehensive coverage of the RNC all week long with our political team joining us from the convention floor beginning on America Decides tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern.